and it seemed like police already trying to engage people there in running battles in Migori County. We'll be going to Stephen Leto to find out what exactly is happening. The pictures you can see right now are from Olympic Primary School. This is in Kibra, constituency. The other pictures you see in there now from Eldoret, where voting is going on. That is in Uasin Gishu County. The exercise already going on. Now you have Eldoret, where the exercise is going on. Migori, the exercise could be kicking off because we are seeing now police presence, and they're trying to clear the roads that the youth had barricaded, saying earlier that there will be no voting in that area. Same thing with Kibra. Thomas, you're saying, I mean, it has to be decided based, of course, on this is a law in terms of postponing an election. There's a criteria. But from your experience again, and Simeka, you can also come in on this. I'll actually start with you, Simeka. Up to what point do you think they can now decide and say, look, things are not looking good, we may decide to postpone voting in certain areas?
First of all, it's very painful, Hussein, to try and understand and analyze IEBC, and particularly the chairman in terms of their decisions. It's been for me a very painful thing to listen to the double speak from the chairman and the rest of the IEBC, to observe the squabbles, the differences within the organization, to hear the chairman plead that he is aware, that he knows that they are making wrong decisions based on his knowledge, his training and knowledge of the law, but yet they proceed with those decisions and they push the nation to this kind of extremely divisive exercise. So I wonder what, you know, apart from the law, as Letangule has pointed out, I wonder what logic they will use to, at some point, maybe should need arise to determine that, okay, let us now postpone or adjourn this election in this particular place for another day. I do not think it will be of any consequence, because the damage has already been inflicted, in my opinion. Regardless of what turns out, the fact that we have ended up in an extremely divisive exercise that ought to have been a unifying national exercise, for me, the damage has already been done. You can scatter it. You can say that we will do in Migori or wherever else, or Kakamega or Vihiga another day. But already the evidence has been seen by the entire world that we have been forced into a highly divisive exercise whose consequences, I think, will reverberate in this country well beyond the next 5 years.
Okay, yeah, but although we're also seeing voting going on in other areas, Thomas.
Yeah, you know, what we need to understand as a country is that this fresh election is an order by our court. We need to understand that the supreme law of Kenya is the Constitution of Kenya 2010. And under Article 140, subsection 3, it says that where an election has been annulled, a fresh election must be held within 60 days. That is the law. Remember, the Supreme Court applied the same Article 143 and ordered an election within 60 days. Therefore, we are not in this situation because we like it. It's not our wish as a country to have a repeat election. By the way, Hussein, remember, in the whole world, there have only been annulment of election in only 3 other countries. We are the 4th country to have an election annulled. Therefore, it's not our wish as a people to again repeat an election. Remember, it's a very expensive exercise. Right now, our lives have been disrupted. We are in perpetual electioneering period. So what do? We have to face it. This election has been repeated, and we have to repeat it. So again, whatever we find ourselves in, low voter turnout, people boycotting, that's it. But we have no choice. We have to do this election because our constitution says it, because our Supreme Court ordered it. Therefore, although this seems divisive because certain parts of the country have boycotted it, but we have to do it. And therefore, however much it's bitter to do it, this is a must.
But Thomas, what I think you are conveniently avoiding to talk about, which also arises from orders of the court and the constitution, is the fact that the IEBC was ordered not just to carry out an election in 60 days, but to carry out an election in strict compliance with the Constitution and applicable laws.
Yes.
Now, those of you who have argued that this election must take place love that thing of 60 days. That is, it will cause a crisis and whatnot and so on. But you refuse to look at what the current bone of contention, what has pushed us to where we are. It's not about the timing. What has pushed us to where we are is the credibility of the process. How IEBC ought immediately after that court decision to have done things, not only done, but seen to have been done, to have done things that give a semblance of guarantee to the public that, look, we are putting in place a foundation to carry out this election in a credible manner, in a manner that is strict compliance with the Constitution and applicable laws.
Thank you.
That is the bone of contention, not the timing.
Thank you, Mr. Smeka. You always, again, look at it this way. The IBC, and by the way, it's been a process from 2013 to now. The IBC, which I left in January this year, all we've been doing is preparing for 2017 for 4-5 years. That is the work IBC has been doing. No other work. By the way, the commission exists to conduct this election. Now, if the commission has been preparing, has trained its officers, has procured the materials, why do we always judge an election before it happens? Why do we say the election is not in conformity with the Constitution before it's done? And by the way, this is only one election out of 6. We have finished 5 elections. And everybody agrees the 5 are okay. Even those who have been elected in the August, the MPs, the MCS are celebrating because of that election. And the point is, now in this election, it's only one election. Under the IBC, one election is a very, very fairly simple election. The infrastructure has been put in place. Everything is in place. The election materials are here. And therefore, we cannot fault a process which is already ongoing. I think let's allow the process to move in. Let's allow the IBC to conduct this election in conformity with the Constitution and our laws, okay, and judge it after.
Letangula, you've asked a couple of questions, and for some of them I would like to provide you answers. You are saying, well, first of all, I must mention this, I shouldn't let it pass. You have said, I think in some kind of self-congratulatory mood, that IEBC has been preparing for this election since 2013.
Yes.
And then, yet it bungled it. You prepare for more than 4 years for an election that should take place on one day, and you actually succeed in bungling it. You really must have prepared to bungle this election.
No.
That is what happened. No, IEBC bungled the election.
No, I don't think so.
No, you don't have to think so, but at least the Supreme Court thought so. Not only thought so, found out and established that IEBC bungled this election after, as you, in your words, preparing for the last 4+
By the
years.
way,
secondly, let me just finish what my response to some of the things you've said. Secondly, you are wondering whether we are second-guessing IEBC. You are saying that how do you determine that they have not done this election in strict compliance with the Constitution and applicable laws? There are so many I can tell you, but I just want to tell you one again based on a court process. What Justice Odunga said yesterday. They didn't comply with the law with regards to appointment of returning officers and presiding officers.
My friend Simeka,
that is contravention of the applicable law.
Okay, well,
there are many reasons I could give you.
So that I need to clarify.
You will shortly. You will shortly. We'll continue this conversation shortly. First, let's cross over to Leto now. We have Leto in Migori. We've been seeing pictures in Migori. Leto, we saw the roads barricaded. We saw security forces now coming in, police moving with a truck, I presume, or I assume that truck had polling materials. And I also assume the same guys who had blocked the roads were forced to clear the roads. What's happening there?
Well, Hussein, things are not easy here in Migori. What we have just seen is engagement or a running battle between demonstrators and police officers who are manning this particular road. And like the pictures that we've just given you are the roadblocks that the police are trying to clear on this road. They have now repulsed the youths that were this side, and they are trying to use them, those that they will be that they have arrested, to clear the road that they have blocked using stones. That is the Kehancha Nyatike junction, the Kehancha Nyatike and the Sebania junction, where youths had also barricaded that particular junction, and the police are trying to repulse them to ensure that, you know, they clear that particular road. But Hussein, where the police have just cleared behind me here is the youths again who have again emerged to, you know, mount again that roadblock from this particular point. So it is a cat and mouse chase between police and the demonstrators, because you see the stones that had been cleared a few minutes ago, youths have emerged because the police have gone the other side, and the youths are now again coming back to bring the stones and barricade that particular region. Where you are seeing, this is a lorry that they had brought last night, used it to block the road and you know, and inflated the tires just to ensure that the lorry does not move and that it barricades that particular road completely. Hussein, we have trying to see so far there is no voting that is ongoing, but what you can hear is police are trying to fire in the air to ensure just to scare away demonstrators, but the other side of TTC where voting was supposed to take place, youths have already manned that gate, and the police since crossed there, and there is also the bridge that they have already barricaded and lit the bonfires. They are just trying to say that they are not going to allow any voting or any voting materials to use this particular road. So Hussein, we are seeing this is what we are going to witness for the better part of the day, just like yesterday. A clash, or rather an engagement, running battles between police officers and demonstrators who are the supporters of the National Super Alliance, who have said they are not going to vote. And so it's just going to show you, Hussein, how the situation looks like. Rowdy youth, of course, always here just to see this lorry that has been used to block the road. They have put it here and inflated the tires just to ensure that it doesn't move outside this particular point. That is just at the middle of the road, Hussein. And so just look at those pictures, how they are actually police were here and they couldn't you know, move this lorry, but they tried to remove the stones that had been used to barricade this particular road. And Hussein, also, if I can also show you where now the clearance of the stones had been done. Hussein, if my cameraman can just, this is the point where police officers had cleared and they have just crossed. They are about a few meters, about 100 meters from this point, but you see again youth have come back. They have again, they are mounting again that roadblock. So just like I told you, it is a cat and mouse chase between the NASA supporters and the police officers here in Migori. From that far end, it is a no-go zone because the youths have lit bonfires, and they are saying that this will be the situation for the entire day and that they are not going to allow any sort of voting to be taking place. Hussein.
That's Stephen Letor. The pictures that you're seeing there are coming to us live from Migori County. Those there being NASA supporters who have barricaded the roads. And as of now, there is a security presence there as police try to keep these youth at bay. These youth are, of course, protesting this particular repeat election exercise. They, of course, having chosen not to cast their ballot, not to participate in the election. This after the NASA leader's directive that his supporters should boycott the election. Let's cross over to us in Gishu County, where Mercy Kandie is. She's currently in Eldoret. Mercy, good morning. What's happening in Eldoret at this hour?
Yes, Lillian, such a contrast here in Eldoret from what my colleague Stephen Letor reports. Here, the mood is calm. It's as if there's no election. Just when you visit a polling station, then you realize that there's something actually happening in the county. Lillian, as we had mentioned earlier, the major concern here yesterday, one of the few concerns, was the pounding rain that has been witnessed in the several days that would hamper movement from one point to another. But today, it's a calm day. The sun is out. People are moving, but on a very slow pace. The IBC officials who we talked to today are saying just about 43 people have casted their vote compared to last time. And this polling station in particular, Lillian, has about 615 registered voters. So that's a very small margin that have already cast their votes, 7%. As you can see, if my cameraman Moses would just show you just one political party agent representing Jubilee Party. That's the only agent here. IEBC officials are saying that voters are trickling in one after the other. And if Moses, we could just walk with my cameraman to this other, the other stream. This polling stations has about 3 streams, but very slow movement, Lillian. Remember that so far 7% of people have cast their votes. We were at the MV Patel with about, usually it has about 19,000 registered voters. Same scenes witnessed all over Uasin Gishu County. People streaming in slowly, one after the other, no long queues. Some of the residents we've talked to, they're saying it's just one ballot box, so they expect the lines to be shorter. Some are saying they'll walk in a bit later. Remember, Lillian, that the polling stations opened at 6 a.m. and they will close at 5 p.m. So residents here are saying they probably have some time. And also what our residents, our viewers should watch out for is that Deputy President William Ruto will be casting his vote at Kosache in Sugoi, Tarbo sub-county. He'll be casting his vote at about 10:30. We'll be streaming you those live pictures from Tarbo. And also from, in terms of the residents in Uasin Gishu County, the tallying stations remain the same, other than one that was Chebisas in Moiben, and also that has been moved to tax center, and also Wareng High School has been moved to the Reformed Church, because remember, these are high schools who are having their exams, so those tallying stations have been moved. The scenes you're seeing on your picture, Lillian, is a slow but sure exercise. One voter after the other streaming in, casting their vote, just one ballot paper, getting their fingerprint, the markings on the small finger, and that's it. Slow but sure, Lillian.
Yeah, many thanks for that. That's Mercy Kandia. She's in Eldoret, and that is the situation there. The pictures that you're seeing on your screens, basically what is currently happening there at this hour as regards the voting exercise. Back here in Nairobi County, let's talk to Willis Raburo, who is at St. Peter's. Let's take a look at how voting is shaping up there. It's been wet here in Nairobi County, and those pictures on your screens are what's happening in that particular polling center. Let's listen in. Willis, good morning. What's happening at St. Peter's?
Very good morning to you, Lillian. We are right now, like you rightly put it, it's quite wet, but as you can see, it doesn't hamper the spirit of the people to come out here and vote. And as you can see, they are on several lines, several streams. This is St. Peter's Clavers here in Starehe constituency. A little early on, we just saw the former Member of Parliament, Miranda Commander, get in. We're going to try to see if we can get a hold of him. But because, of course, of the weather and other prevailing circumstances, it might be a bit of a challenge, but we'll try to spot him somewhere out there in the crowd. So the people are out here. They came here very early. They say, I spoke to some of them, they say they were here as early as 4 a.m., some 5 a.m., and they are here to exercise their democratic right to vote. And they are very happy about it. They say the rain is not going to hamper the spirits. In fact, what happened, Lillian, is that there was somebody who actually came, and many of them did not anticipate that the rain would be this bad. So there are some people who came. Sorry if I'm squinting; it's because of the rain. But there are some people who came here and was giving out umbrellas, just to keep people in check. So that's why you can see there's a lot of umbrellas now, and I'm told there's somebody has been sent to get some more, all in the spirit of being Kenyan and exercising their right. We're going to try and walk around and talk to some people. The reason why I'm carrying a bag is because we are literally on the go. From here we'll be going somewhere else, so you'll pardon the bag, Lillian, but we're going to talk to a few of them just to get some of their views as well of what exactly they feel, what time they came, and how they feel the differences this time from last time. Habari?
Mzuri sana.
Jina, unaitwa nani kaka?
Kwa majina ni Daniel Omwangi. Na tuko hapa siku ya leo kujiamulia kiongozi mwenye tunataka. Yeah.
Ulifika hapa mnamo saa ngapi?
Mimi nilifika hapa saa 11 na mpaka sasa tuko kwa line tunanyeshewa hapa. Tukigojea tu tupige kula alafu turudi nyumbani.
Na ujumbe wako kwa Wakenya wengine ni
tunataka watu wa vote kwa kiongozi mwenye anajitakia na tuwe tuko na peace. Ndio tunataka, ndio turudi kwa kazi zetu kama kawaida.
Safi, asante sana. So message of peace there as well. Let's talk to this lovely lady as well. Kwa majina mama?
Mimi naitwa Christine Wajugu, mwenye biashara huko Malikiti Market. Yeah.
Ulifika saa ngapi hapa?
Hapa nimefika 6:30 na tunaendelea mzuri na niko kwa line na nataka kufoot.
Baada hapa pengine ujumbe wako kwa Wakenya itakuwa nini?
Mimi ningeambia Wakenya wenzangu wadumishe amani na tukae na amani. Kenya ni moja na tuko pamoja sisi zote. Yeah.
Asante sana. Hata ungependa kuongea?
Mimi naweza penda kuongea.
Umepiga kura ama ndo unataka kuenda kupiga?
Kwa line.
Uko kwa line?
Yeah.
Unaitwa nani?
Mimi naitwa John Kamau. Yeah.
Ulifika hapa saa ngapi?
Nilifika hapa saa 11:30. Yeah.
Na umefurahishwa na vile shughuli inaendeshwa sasa hivi?
Hapa sifuri inaendelea sawa sawa, hakuna wasiwasi. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it, Lillian. Just some of the views here. We'll continue to come here. I've spoken to a few of the officials here. They say everything is running smoothly. It opened on time, and so they are anticipating that the process will go on without any hitches. And we'll, of course, be around to report more on this. But this is St. Peter's Clavers Primary School. It's one of the polling stations in Saria constituency. From here, we're going to go to another place. But from here, it seems like everything is okay despite the weather. So we'll hand it over back to you in studio.
Thanks for that, Willis Raburu. The pictures you're seeing on your screens there, as you can see, Migori County there, the youth there having barricaded the roads. That, of course, perceived to be a NASA stronghold. In other parts of the country, Nyeri County, as you can see there, people have turned up to cast their vote, and that is in Nyeri, in Gatundu, Kiambu County. We also see voting going on, and we just spoke to Willis Raburu here in Nairobi County at St. Peter's, where we also saw people actually going on with the voting process. Let's cross over to Machakos County. Michael Karanja is our man on the ground. Good morning. From Machakos, Michael, what can you tell us is happening at this hour?
Well, we are coming to you from the Machakos Recreational Center, better known as the Muli Mutisia Polling Center, where voting is already underway. There are actually 9